The time has come for Honor Roll to unveil the greatest player of all time. Pistol Pete Maravich of LSU. Sporting floppy socks and a flashy style, Maravich averaged over 44 points per game. But more impressively, he created a hoops frenzy at a school long known only for football.
I think one of the toughest sells in America was to sell basketball in Louisiana.
It wasn't until Pete showed up on campus and started playing that word spread like wildfire that here was a bona fide superstar.
As soon as he touched the ball, people went to the edge of their seat. You were scared to take your eye off of him because something might happen.
It was as if you had melted down all 12 Harlem Globetrotters and then filled up this skinny 6'6" white frame with everything they had.
It looked like Ichabod Crane out there with a mop on his head or something. He didn't wear those gray floppy socks by accident. He knew that people would see him. He knew that he was selling the game.
I loved him at LSU. Socks flopping, he had flavor. I'm like, wait a minute, where this guy grew up? And he had that something.
You were never quite sure what he was going to do with the ball in the open court because he had 1,000 moves to either shoot it or pass it.
And number 23, Pete Maravich.
Nobody handled the ball better than Pistol. But he wasn't just satisfied with that. He had to put a little show on for the fans.
And there was this great rumor that was circulating that he had developed a shot that he was going to dribble down the court and right before the basket, give it a hard dribble and the ball on a bounce would go in the basket.
Pistol Pete Maravich was maybe my all-time favorite college player. I can remember I was covering Kentucky when he was a freshman, and the students would come and watch the freshman games. Back then, you couldn't play varsity basketball until you were a sophomore. But they would come and watch Pete play on the freshman team and then leave.
You can't watch Maravich film and say, I'm going to do that. To do what Maravich did with the basketball is a gift from God.
His coach and father, Press Maravich, stressed scoring over defense, giving his son a degree of freedom and pressure to win.
Pete was there to bring in the people. Pete was there to do the scoring, and we were there to do whatever we could to help that along.
The 6 games that we played against each other in college, I think Pete averaged over 50 points a game, but we won all 6 games.
Pete took losing pretty bad. I think that's why, even though he was scoring a lot of points, I think Pete would have been happier, if he'd scored less and we'd won some of the ball games that we lost.
Maravich scored over 50 points 28 times in 3 All-American seasons for the Tigers. But his NCAA record of 3,667 points is one statistic that may stand forever.
He averaged 44 points a game for 3 seasons. And I don't think people understand what that number is. And that's a number that will never be approached ever again in college basketball.
If you want to break his record, that was with no three-point shot. All you have to do is score 15 three-pointers every game you play your entire college career, and you'll break Pistol's record. No one's ever going to do it. Tragically, Maravich died in 1988 at the age of 40. His final breaths were taken on a basketball court.